Hello and welcome to Fedcast's third special
Third or
podcast,
fourth.
something like that, for a very, very special topic. It is the granddaddy of them all, the Super Bowl of wrestling, the grandest stage in them all, the show of shows, the World Series of Wrestling, the showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a lot of names.
That is a lot of fucking names. But yeah, that's WrestleMania. It is, as a wrestling fan, it is the greatest time
You
of
missed
year.
one.
Did I?
The Cadillac of wrestling.
Is that really a thing?
No, probably not.
I didn't think so.
But I just, the way, like, people mention cars, it's the Cadillac,
The Cadillac
of bands,
the Cadillac of cars.
So it's the Cadillac of wrestling.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, not really, but, you know, it is our shit.
For better or worse, and there has been best, and there has been worse.
Oh, yeah, there's been bad.
It's Mania.
Yes.
Guys.
I mean, as a wrestling fan, how can you not be... How can... You
the build may be good, the build may be bad, but...
There's something in the air. You know there is. I know there is. You know there is.
Yep.
Everybody knows there is. So,
Mania is special.
Yeah, it's something big.
So in this special...
Yes.
We're going to cover WrestleMania 1 to 29. And no, don't worry, it's not going to be like 9 hours long.
No, we're not going to go through everything. We're just going to go through highlights.
We're gonna rapid fire. You know what I mean? We're gonna cover every WrestleMania where they were held.
Yeah.
Main events and certain other matches.
And
of
shit
note.
and anything that pops into our head. Because, I mean, after a certain point, like, you know...
Because we're gonna miss stuff.
Oh, yeah, God, yes. And I mean, you know, after a certain point...
This may be not your moments, but...
No, but I mean, and after certain points, like, with my age being, I'm 30, the first one I'm cognizant of from the time it actually aired was WrestleMania 6, you know? The whole thing, Hogan, Warrior, which I'll get into, of course, because how can you not? That's my first real... holy shit, this is wrestling kind of thing. You know, I watched other shit before, but that was my real big one.
Mine was,
the kind of thing.
14? I'd like to say either 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
my first cognizant,
right.
like,
yeah,
this
where you're
is
just
Mania.
like, holy shit, this is something big. Yeah, no, I mean, that's,
Yeah, so...
so, like, I mean, that's basically what we're going to do. It's not going to be, you know, and again, we're leaving somewhere for us to go. If you've heard, obviously you must have heard the episode we did that is our regular show, where we're leaving somewhere for us to go. This is us just sort of doing a recap of WrestleMania. Next year, we get around to something, we'll have to do something else, of course. So we're doing something simple this time, leaving us room to grow on this, where WrestleMania will be a big show for us too.
So this is the Mania of Mania, basically.
It is, yes.
We'll start with WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
The first.
The first, which was a huge gamble for Vince.
Massive. Pretty much, if it didn't work, he would have been broke.
Yep. And turns out brilliant.
Yeah. The inclusion of the Rock and Wrestling Connection.
Yeah. Which,
you know, Cyndi Lauper.
They had everybody.
They had Billy Martin there. They had Muhammad Ali. They had Liberace and the Rockettes.
Yeah. They had... It was a big deal.
This was a big deal. Not only in the world of sports, but in the world of entertainment.
Yeah, it was something...
WrestleMania was truly the birth of sports entertainment.
Yeah, it really was. It was... And, I mean, Vince's whole intention was to take wrestling and take it out of the beer halls and bring it into a grand stage, and WrestleMania was literally the grandest stage of them all.
Yep.
That's sort of where it came from.
And your main event.
Yes.
Speaking of sports entertainment. Hulk Hogan and... one of the biggest actors on the planet at the time, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Coming off Rocky 3, coming off the A-Team. Big guy.
Biggest name. Like,
biggest
when
name.
he pitied a fool, people paid attention.
Yeah. And they fought Public Enemy number 1. We're talking about Roddy Piper, the guy who kicked Cyndi Lauper.
yes.
You know what I mean?
The most hated man in wrestling.
And
in the world, really.
And along with his buddy Ace, Cowboy Bob, and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, it was a hell of a match.
Yeah,
that match.
It was awesome to watch. It was, you had, like, you know, we're talking about how WrestleMania was a big deal. Like, even watching it now, you go back and you watch it, because I myself have the big box set with the 21 WrestleManias. You go back and you watch it, and there's something big there going on. Even though, you know, the match is... It's good, but it's, you know, it's not the best match we've seen.
No,
it's not even the best match on the card.
No.
But there's something big about it. It's just, it's got that air of like, holy shit, something's about to hit the fan.
No.
It's on. It's something huge. But, I mean, that's what Mania was, and that's where it began, and it's been that way ever since. Even, bad Manias, you still have that one moment that just makes you go, yeah, that's why I do this. This is why I do this.
Then we get into it.
Yes.
WrestleMania 2, they wanted bigger and badder.
Oh, this is definitely, they went bigger. I don't know how I don't know if they went badder, but they definitely got bigger.
But some would say it was a gamble that didn't pay off all the way.
No.
But they decided that they didn't want to do it in just one place. They wanted to do it in 3 different places. New York City, Chicago, and LA.
Yeah. The idea is good.
Yeah.
Execution, not so good. Because basically, and they mentioned this in the DVD, which is, I don't think you can say it any better way, is that half the time you have people who paid money staring at a screen.
Yep.
And they pay a lot more than we do on pay-per-view and at the time closed-circuit television.
I worked New York City, I believe, got the first hour.
They did, yeah.
So they saw live wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And screens were set up in Chicago and LA to watch the first hour.
Mm-hmm.
Ended in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Screen went down.
Yep.
Chicago got a live show. New York and LA got screens.
Mm-hmm.
And then that ended.
And
Screen went down. LA got the final card.
Yeah.
And New York had to watch a screen, and Chicago had to watch a screen.
Yeah.
So either way you shake it, you're watching 2 hours on a screen and an hour live in person.
I mean, the only people I think who decently got it was Illinois.
Yeah.
I mean, they got 1 hour of TV, an hour of live, and an hour of TV.
They were right in the middle.
They had the best, whereas the other two had to literally sit and watch 2
straight
hours of TV, and it's just like, I could have done this at home for like a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
It's kind of dumb. So, good idea, bad execution.
Notable matches.
Yeah.
If you could pull up the main event. I didn't get the main event for the Chicago one, but the main event
it was Hulk Hogan and
no, that was LA.
Oh yeah, no, sorry.
That's what I have written down. Hogan and King Kong were LA. Mr. T. Piper did boxing.
Yeah.
In
Which
New York,
whatever, and apparently they hated working with each other.
Oh yeah, they hated each other's guts.
Which you thought would be actually a little better than it actually was, but it was okay.
And the King Kong Bundy Hulk Hogan cage match.
Yeah.
Was what it was. It was obviously the highlight of King Kong Bundy's career.
Wow, this is fucked up. The first main event was the boxing match. The second main event, I think, now that I'm thinking about it, it was a Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah.
It was the Battle Royal with, like, the NFL players
and
the
right.
WWF stars.
Fridge,
yeah, I remember that, yeah.
William Perry, the refrigerator, was in that.
Yeah, and then there was also the main event that's listed here. Now, I'm remembering... Shit, I should have watched this before we put this on. But, yeah, the main event of British Bulldogs and the Dream Team. Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus.
This was when
before he was the barber, I believe. Beefcake.
This was Ozzy Osbourne coming with the Bulldogs, right?
Yeah.
Once again, celebrities.
And Captain Lou, right?
Captain Lou.
I mean, mind you, former wrestler, but still.
But these were celebrities, big names, and they got a bunch of Willie Lasorda.
Yeah.
Or Tommy Lasorda from the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They had Elvira.
Yeah.
Mrs. O'Night.
Other on-screen talent, literally, like.
The list goes on?
Yeah, like Joan Rivers was a guest ring announcer. Susan St. James. I don't even know who that is. Sorry.
I'm sure someone out there does.
Yeah, no. Kathy Lee Crosby. Don't know who that is either.
But these are names.
Ernie Ladd.
Yeah.
Elvira, like you said.
These were big names in the sports and entertainment.
Yeah.
These were big names in the sports entertainment world. And so they made WrestleMania 2 big.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good, but it was big.
It was, like they definitely upped the ante. They tried to make it a bigger, badder show. And in some respects they did. I mean, the matches were better. I mean, I remember some of these matches, like, my hat's off to the NFL team. That Battle Royal, not bad.
Yep.
Not good, but not bad, considering what it was. It could have been a huge clusterfuck. Not terrible. Yep. So, they did a decent job.
We get to the Silverdome.
Yes.
WrestleMania 3.
They went back to just one stadium, which was smarter.
Which is still, and I mean, obviously there's controversy. They say it was 90-something thousand. It's been now realized that it was only 70,000 people. Who cares?
That doesn't matter.
70,000 people in what year?
Yeah, in 1987.
You get 70,000 people anywhere for wrestling. In the Pontiac Silverdome.
It's funny, even Wikipedia literally has like 93,173, but it has 7 notations.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's sketchy. Let's just say
it's sketchy, but this was it. This was Hogan Andre.
It was, and I mean, this was the fantastic feud where like Andre ripped the cross off of Hogan on Piper's pit, and there's a little bit of blood because he accidentally scratched him.
Because it's the look that Hogan gets where he's like, okay, I'm gonna fight Andre, and go and look at Andre, and then he just looks down and goes, well, what are you doing with him? Speaking about Bobby Heenan, like, what are you doing with him? And then Bobby
it was
Heenan,
the big heel turn
Bobby
for
Heenan
Andre.
Going, he's a giant, and he's going to crush you because he's 9 feet tall.
Yeah,
and he can do that
exactly. And it was fucking great.
And of course,
that was some great shit.
And of course, there's been references since then that thank God Andre wanted to do it. If Andre wanted to keep.
That's the thing. If Andre wanted to win a match, it didn't matter who was supposed to win. He gonna win because he could kill you, and he loved in the ring. Like if somebody ever disrespected him even slightly, he would show you.
No.
He'd be like, he had no problem showing you. Famous story that's on the Warrior DVD where Warrior fucked up. He didn't listen to what Andre said. Like Andre had a spot he wanted to do. Warrior refused to do it, and Warrior just kept charging him, running into him, like running and charging, and then one point in time, Andre just put his fist up, and like with Warrior just having his head down, just ran right into his fist and knocked out cold. From that point on, Warrior was a little more docile. Sort of did what he was told, and that's the thing.
With Andre.
It's Andre. Like Andre will fucking kill you.
And
he was 9 feet tall and like 9,000 pounds. He would fuck you up.
And as far as I can recall, this was the only time he ever really meant anything at WrestleMania.
Yeah, well,
I mean, he was at 4, but that was a double disqualification.
Well, he was in a lot after it. I mean, I do remember him at 6.
Yeah, but I mean, like main event.
This was probably his only main event at Mania.
Yeah.
But I mean, this whole main event.
I mean, to be fair.
Yeah.
At this point in time, WrestleMania 3, Andre was in the business.
Oh, yeah, no, he'd been in the
70s,
business. Yeah, he'd been in the business for long enough. Like, he definitely earned his spot. Nobody's doubting that.
No.
Because even dead, Andre kind of scares me.
Yeah.
But no, this whole thing had issues because, I mean, the whole thing of, like, this slam that's heard around the world where, Hogan picked up Andre and slammed him. Rumor has it, and I've never seen the actual video footage, but apparently Hogan's already done it before.
Yeah.
He'd already done it at some other show, but I've never seen
Probably
the
to
footage.
see him do it.
I guess it was to see him do it at Mania, sure, but I mean, apparently he'd already done it, which I don't know if I believe that.
No, well, you don't show me footage.
Well, that's the thing, because I mean, if there's no footage, and Hogan even talks about it all the time, of just being like, when I picked him up and slammed him, I ripped muscles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you've done this once before, how'd you fuck it up at that show and not the other one?
Exactly.
So, it's one of those questions where you're like, is this just people lying? Like, is it all the people who claim they were at Woodstock?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And we'd be obviously remiss to talk about WrestleMania 3 without bringing up what is not anymore, but for a long time,
I don't know,
the best WrestleMania match of all time.
This still might...
Well, no, those Taker-Shawn Michaels matches.
True.
Those Taker-Shawn Michaels matches.
I mean, really though, this match had everything. Mm-hmm. This is one of mine and most people's favorite matches of all time.
Well, it involves my favorite wrestler of all time, Macho Man Randy Savage, of course.
And how could you not love Macho Man? But, I mean, this match was just
it was
brutal.
Art.
It was brutal in some places. It was beautiful in others. It was just... You want to talk about two guys telling a story. These guys told you the whole fucking novel in this match. God, if you haven't seen it, shame on you. Mm-hmm. By hook or by crook, go check it. It's got to be on fucking YouTube, for God's sakes.
It's on DVDs. It's on...
You cannot call yourself a wrestling fan if you have not seen this match at least 3 times.
Yeah.
Because it's just...
At least highlights, for God's sake.
For God, anything. It's just a thing of fucking beauty. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I love the Taker-Michaels matches, but there's something about this match that just hits every part of me as a wrestling fan. Every part.
Mm-hmm. Now we get into the rapid fire portion for a bit. 4 and 5, back to back. 4 was great because as a Macho Man fan, once again, this was Macho Man wrestling 3 or 4 times and becoming WWF champion,
which was weird because I never saw this coming. I mean, I guess I wouldn't. I was a kid,
Yeah.
so who the fuck am I talking? I'm literally talking to my
But,
ass
but
right
no,
now.
no. But you're talking. I guess what you're trying to say is you wouldn't have seen Macho Man win a tournament.
I guess
because he wasn't even in the title picture.
No, and that was the thing. He was the IC guy mainly.
Yeah.
He was definitely a mid carder, and you didn't see at that time specifically. It was very rare. I mean, it's rare now, but it was very rare to see mid carders move up that fast. I mean, it wasn't fast. I mean, everyone will tell you like, oh, he was at that spot for like 10 years. Like, yeah, but I'm a kid, right?
Yeah.
I was only cognizant of wrestling at this point in time. Like, this was 1988, right? Mm-hmm. I was fucking, at this point, I'm 6 years old.
At this point, I'm not alive.
Yeah. So I'm 6 years old. I'm watching this. Mind you, I'm just watching it because my father's watching it.
And it's wrestling.
Yeah, and I mean,
cool.
wrestling is fun, and it's everything, but,
Especially if you're a kid. Oh,
well, that's the thing. I'm 6 years old. My dad loves it. I'm gonna be interested. Yeah. I mean, I could go... I could literally do the whole thing. It was like, this is how my father and I bonded when I was a kid. And it's true, but I don't want to go that lame, but it's true.
Yeah.
So that's sort of, that's the way I look at it is from my little tiny brain figuring out wrestling, it just seemed odd that he moved up that fast in one show. It just seemed really weird. Yeah. I remember thinking that.
And he did hold the title the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And
actually, I think we were wrong, because looking at the picture... For WrestleMania 4, it shows Hogan and Andre.
No, because that was part of the tournament.
Was it? Oh yeah, you're right.
Hogan
and
Andre was in the tournament, but their match ended.
How long it's been since I've seen this one?
Because this one, like
as
DQ,
we said, with the what's the word I'm looking for? The rapid fire. Yeah. These two are kind of forgettable. Yeah, they're not bad, but there's much worse manias.
WrestleMania 4 was it total? The entire card pretty much was this tournament.
It
other
was
than maybe a handful of matches,
which was a good idea.
Yeah.
In theory, should it have been a Mania? Not so much, but tournaments like this, King of the Ring, for instance, is exactly.
To be fair, this was WrestleMania 4. Yeah. Even with WrestleMania 3, it still wasn't WrestleMania.
Well, they haven't figured it out yet.
So
I don't think
it being a tournament is fine at this pay-per-view because they didn't have like 12 pay-per-views a year.
No, you know what I mean? And I mean, to me, I think WrestleMania as the big holy shit show didn't happen until like what I said to you right before we started the show, whereas to me it didn't seem like WrestleMania was the hot shit until 6 in Toronto. I mean, mind you, because it could be that I'm in Toronto, that might have played a big part of that to me, but I really feel like WrestleMania wasn't big shit until WrestleMania 6. But again, that could just be me. But and
in between WrestleMania 4 and 5, the Mega Powers obviously happened.
Ooh, yeah.
One of the greatest tag teams of all time, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man.
So awesome. Just that promo that they cut when they first got together. The handshake where they're just like, I saw everything that was going on over here with Hulkamania, and then I just had to see what was going on over here with the madness, and it's just awesome.
Just when they're like
that
going
handshake,
in,
like,
I'm not sure, and then
it's just it's so good. Oh, fuck.
And then at WrestleMania 5, the Mega Powers exploded.
Oh yes,
as the poster
indicates. The rip, because Macho Man kind of thought Hogan had a thing for Miss Elizabeth.
And who could blame him?
Well, who wouldn't? I mean,
Miss Elizabeth is gorgeous.
The first lady of wrestling. The classiest woman in wrestling until you find out how she died.
Let's just ignore that. But yeah.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 5 was WrestleMania 5.
It was.
The only thing I've written down is that match because I don't think they're missing
well, you know what? I can look up the quick matches here, but I mean... Rick Rude versus Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. Whatever. Hart Foundation versus Greg Valentine, the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, like nothing spectacular there.
But this was the main event. Yeah. But this main event was a good match.
It was a very good match.
Macho Man versus Hogan for the WWE title.
It's Macho Man and Hogan. Exactly. Like, say what you will about fucking Hulk Hogan in a big match, you want him in there. Yeah. Because he's gonna pull it out. Say what you will about his wrestling ability, he can pull out big matches every fucking time.
WrestleMania 6.
Which... Still my favorite to this day.
Really?
It is. I mean, it's my first. Like I said, it's the first time I was cognizant necessarily that WrestleMania was a big deal, and I had a videotape of this that was taped off of pay-per-view, and I watched this over and over again. Like to this day, I could still tell you everything that happened. Right? Like I remember people spitting on Andre as he was leaving on that little ring trolley that they used to have him come out in. And I remember the big match, I remember all the promos leading up to it.
Yeah.
You know, I remember everything that went on in this, and
this was the first time they left the States? This is the first time in Canada?
First time in Canada, first time, again, like you said, they left the States. It's the only... They've never gone anywhere other than Toronto.
They've never left
aside from the U.S.
They've never left
North America, yeah. Which is kind of odd. I would have thought by now they would have gone somewhere else, but, you know, I guess nobody else is big enough. I don't know. But it was... Yeah, it was...
It was Warrior Hogan.
It was.
It was the jumping point for Warrior.
It was, and I'll admit, I jumped on the bandwagon. I became a Warrior
Ultimate
fan.
Warrior is awesome.
Yeah.
If you take him at face value.
On paper, he's brilliant.
Yeah. Obviously, he's a god-awful wrestler.
Yeah, but you don't notice. I wouldn't know that. I'm an 8-year-old kid. Like, he's like the greatest thing ever.
You see this fucking wild man running down to the ring with huge ass muscles, fucking tassels on his boots,
exactly,
long ass hair,
that excellent music, everything,
excellent music with the face paint.
Yes, and I remember...
That's crack for a kid.
Oh, believe me, I know. I used to go to if you're from Toronto and you're roughly my age, you'd probably remember all those Maple Leaf Gardens shows they used to do. And I went to pretty much all of them.
Yep.
I've always said many times, one of my first memories that I can actually recall is seeing Jake the Snake Roberts walk into the building. And he was 19 feet tall in my head. Yeah. But no, I remember specifically after Warrior had won the belt, I remember he made an appearance at the Maple Leaf Garden show, and that music fucking hits, and it was the first time I'd seen that he spray painted the belt. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I know he did it with the IC belt, or spray painted. They gave him one, but they put it off that he spray painted it. Yeah. And I remember it like as clear as day. I'm like, oh, it's blue. That's so awesome because the Warrior is the greatest thing ever. And blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. You know,
very color coded that gentleman.
Very much, yes.
WrestleMania 7, another great Warrior match.
Yes,
with Macho Man in the retirement match.
Yeah. Sorry, just clicking over on Wikipedia, I see the poster. You can't help but laugh at that.
Oh, it's Hulk Hogan muscles on top of muscles with the big American flag.
If you're listening in front of your computer or you have an iPhone, do yourself a favor and check out the WrestleMania 7 poster on Wikipedia.
It's American.
Well, wait, it'll give you a nice laugh. It's pretty epic. Very G.I. Joe like.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, real American Hogan.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
No, that was funny.
That was good.
No, but Warrior vs. Macho Man.
Wow, there was like nobody in attendance.
Yeah.
It was like 16,000 people.
It was a small fucking one.
Very small, Jesus.
But this was the retirement match.
Yeah.
Up to a point for Macho Man.
Yeah, until he decided
of course,
to come back.
yeah, but when he lost that match, and Elizabeth came in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was with Sherry at the time, because he was Macho King, and she dropped Sherry.
Yeah.
And then Macho Man.
Yeah. He carried her off.
Puts her on his shoulders, and they're both crying.
Yeah, it was.
I dare you to watch that and not
God,
well off my bait.
Oh Jesus, dude! Like even to this day, I watch that. And, I get a little glassy eyed, and I squeeze a few out for that. But I mean, it was fucking emotional, and like this is not. You got to remember, this is also in a day where it's not like commonplace, or we haven't become jaded at this point. This isn't something we see every 5 minutes on wrestling.
Exactly.
When somebody says their career's over, we usually take them at face value. Yeah. Like they're done. Little did we know it wouldn't last very long, but we assumed he was gone.
And Hogan versus Slaughter.
Yes,
and Sergeant Slaughter being getting death threats and legitimate death threats.
I mean, in all fairness, this was like in the beginning. This is like the middle of the Gulf War,
and he's Saddam Hussein sympathizer.
He's like a Iraqi sympathizer, and he's Sergeant Slaughter of all people. The motherfucker's on G.I. Joe cartoons. On like 1 minute, and then like half hour later, he's pledging his allegiance to Iran. Like Jesus Christ! Whatever, same people.
Yeah. Well, don't do that.
I'm just gonna let that sit.
Okay,
there,
don't do that.
I just made it as a mistake. All right.
All right. Well, we're moving on.
We're not a serious show, folks. We're talking wrestling.
We're moving on.
We're not. This is not our place.
Indiana.
Yes.
Was the host of WrestleMania 8. And
run! They'll never to catch us.
Just show how serious Macho Man was. He fought Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8. Yeah.
But I didn't hear anyone complaining, because I believe this was one of my favorite build-ups ever, because
of Elizabeth?
Yeah, the Elizabeth thing where they like the doctored photos and all that shit. I actually went out and bought the WWF magazine just to see those pictures, see if I could tell if they were doctored. Oh God, it's
the funny
it
was actually
fun being a
supposed to be
stupid
Hogan
kid.
versus Flair, obviously, because
was,
they're the two biggest names in NWA and WWE
Yeah,
at the
but
time.
they never-
But no, I heard they had matches, house show matches, like they do, to see if they get a general reaction. And I heard it was a bad.
It was never going to work. It's just two very different styles. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big Ric Flair fan, but I can see that Hogan is the flashier of the two.
Yeah.
And it just wouldn't work. It
so
would never work.
Basically, because of that, we got two matches: Hogan versus Sid, Savage versus Flair, which is fine.
It would be fine, except for the fact that I fucking hate Sid Justice.
Yeah,
hate him so much, or Sid Vicious, whatever the fuck he's called that minute.
Mm-hmm.
Sid something or other. I didn't like him, so I couldn't I gotta say I couldn't care less about this match.
I know.
However, Flair Savage, good.
Yep,
excellent.
WWF title. And that was on the mid card. That was on the middle of the card.
It's not that surprising, though.
I
mean,
know,
anything Hulk Hogan was the Cena of his day, right?
I know.
Or
anything he does will be in the main event.
Actually, I apologize. Cena is the Hogan of his day. That is just wrong.
Yeah.
I apologize for saying that, but it's true. I mean, look at what we've got right now coming up in WrestleMania 29.
Yeah.
What do you think the main event's going to be? Just a wild guess.
Just a wild guess.
Yeah. So.
Tons of Funk?
Exactly.
No.
It's going to be the Divas match.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. It's Hogan. Mm-hmm. And whether he's fighting for a belt or not, he's the main event.
And I don't care. I might hate John Cena for probably the same reasons I love Hogan, but I love Hogan. I don't care.
And we'll talk about how good Hogan is because WrestleMania 9, emanating from Las Vegas, Nevada, Caesar's Palace.
The world's largest toga party.
Yes, sir.
This is another one that I watched a shit ton. I don't know why. It was another one I had on VHS, and I watched the shit out of it.
Yep. Bret Hart.
I still remember fucking Bobby Heenan coming in on a camel backwards.
Yep.
Just remember that. But yeah.
Jim Ross's first appearance with the company.
Yes. Yeah.
The main event was Bret Hart versus Yokozuna.
And if you've ever read Bret Hart's book, ooh boy, you know how unhappy he was about this.
They fought.
I forgot Money Inc. wrestled in this.
Money
I fucking loved Money Inc.
Great tag team.
Yes. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
No, hey man.
Yeah.
We got to talk about other matches
that's
too.
True,
Money
yeah.
Inc. Who'd they fight again?
It was what? Oh, it was Hogan and Brutus Beefcake.
Oh, right.
Against Money Inc. And then, of course, they had the clusterfuck that was the
main event. Which was Yoko beating Bret.
Yeah.
Because of Mr. Fuji and his devious tactics.
Yes, that's true.
And then something happened where Bret Hart...
Yeah.
And I guess Fuji went in the ring and he's like, my Yokozuna won't challenge anyone.
No, he didn't. No, it was something... I don't even... You know what? Maybe it's on here. But while I'm looking it up, though, we have to talk about the Undertaker Giant Gonzalez match. I forgot about that. They're involved fucking chloroform in that match, for God's sakes.
Giant Gonzalez needed chloroform to knock out the Undertaker.
and it still didn't work.
And then he got DQ'd, and Taker technically wins the match.
Yeah.
He never pinned or submitted
Giant
Gonzalez, but he won.
Hey, we know he won.
It counts as a win.
Okay, what was I looking up? Oh yeah, how did this work? Yeah, because all we know is that Bret was not happy.
Yeah, Bret was blinded due to powder.
Yeah, so okay. Blah 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 blah. Yokozuna came back, clothesline. Wow, they go into every fucking part of this match. Jesus Christ.
Detail by detail.
Oh, after the match, Hulk Hogan came to the ring to check on Hart's condition. Yes, I remember that. Hogan had stated during an interview earlier in the broadcast that he wanted to face the winner of the match. What? How the fuck does that even work?
Because he's Hulk Hogan.
I guess. And Fuji challenged Hogan to... Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he challenged Hogan immediately.
And I remember Bret going, go,
yeah, and he said, yeah, I remember that.
Get
like, his eyes are still fucked up, and he said, go, go, go.
And Hogan had the shiner.
Yeah.
And he went in, and it was a quick-ass
and
match.
It was fast as
Hogan
shit.
won,
yeah.
and we had 2 world title matches. And 2 world title champions.
He won the title in 22 seconds. Yeah.
Won the match. Hogan's your champion.
You know what? As a kid... I mean, I can't remember how I felt as a kid, but I got to assume I was happy.
And this would be the last time we'd see Hogan at a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
For a long time.
A very long time, and God, if I'd known that, I probably would have cried my eyes out.
No, this is the last WrestleMania match for Hogan.
Yeah, you're right.
For at least a decade?
Mind you, yeah, definitely. Yeah, oh God, yeah.
I think a decade on
at
the nose.
Least, yeah.
No, sorry, 9 years, because he came back at 18.
Right. This might be the first time I took a break from wrestling.
Okay.
I feel like there was a WrestleMania I missed, and I think it might have been 10.
We'll talk about 10.
Because I'm not sure. Once we get to it, let's find out.
But
here.
we're on 10. This was obviously because Brett and Lex Luger both won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
There would be 2 world title matches.
Yep.
And seeing that Yokozuna defeated Hulk Hogan at the King of the Ring that year, he was going into Mania as champion.
He was, yeah.
So we had Lex versus Yoko as the first match, and then Brett versus Yoko, or Brett versus the winner.
Right.
In the second match.
Yep.
Mr. Perfect was the referee in his pajama pants.
Yeah. Actually, I definitely didn't miss this one because I remember the Royal Rumble, the end of the Royal Rumble, where, God, I always wonder about this. How the fuck did they do that?
Like,
that's the exact second they both hit, man. That was impressive as shit. But yeah, I remember this being very confusing and a clusterfuck. I mean, even you explaining it right now is confusing.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it was really fucking weird.
Lex did lose to Yoko. Yoko did defeat him.
Yes.
Bret Hart had 2 matches that night.
He did.
He fought his brother.
Yeah.
Lost.
Yep.
Owen Hart got a big push that night because he beat his brother.
Yeah, which is weird.
At Mania at the Garden.
Yes.
This is WrestleMania 10. This is the 10-year anniversary.
Which is weird again. Well, I'll talk about it this year, but yeah. No, I mean, it's really,
and this
really
was
weird.
This was the show also where Razor Ramon fought HBK in the first ever ladder match in WWE, and our first ever high profile ladder match.
At this point in time, like, most people think, like, consider that the greatest ladder match of all time, which, I mean, to those people, I'm like, did you ever see the Hardy Boys? But, you know, that's just me. But, I mean, Doink the Clown had Dink with him this time. Remember that? God, this was retarded shit. This was not a very good Mania.
No.
Randy Savage settled his feud with Crush. My God, how the mighty have fallen.
Exactly.
I got nothing against Crush. Don't fucking hate me for it, but, I mean, he should not be facing Savage at a Mania.
No.
But anyway, that was WrestleMania 10.
Speaking of nothing, WrestleMania 11.
This is where
the main event was LT versus Bam Bam.
Yeah,
the WWE title was Diesel versus HBK.
Yeah,
with
this
like
is
Jenny McCarthy and
I was not around for this.
It was in Nothing Mania. It was in Hartford, Connecticut. No one really paid attention. It got big pub because of LT, obviously.
Well, this was the lowest. This was probably the lowest point in WWF history.
Yeah.
And I say WWF because that's what they are.
Yeah.
Like, I was a lifelong fan at this point, and even I left. I was like, fuck this, because I didn't care, and nobody else did either. This was probably the lowest. This was the breaking point right before the Attitude Era began.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm just looking through the card right now, and it's garbage.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's garbage.
It's crap.
So, Anaheim, WrestleMania 12. Mm-hmm. The only thing that matters.
Yes.
HBK versus Bret Hart for an hour.
Oh, good.
HBK coming.
Wait, no. This was the Undertaker with the mask.
God, the Phantom of the Opera mask.
Yeah, I kind of liked it though. I really did. I'm weird like that though.
But this was HBK coming down from the rafters on his zip line.
When you talk about Shawn Michaels and they show that damn clip, it was this WrestleMania.
And then you hear Vince McMahon there going, "Oh, look at that!" Mm-hmm. You know. Oh, yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Savio Vega.
Yep.
In his first WrestleMania match. Things to come.
Yep.
Ultimate Warrior defeated Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yep.
As we now know as Triple H. Undertaker defeated Diesel like anyone cares. Oh, God. This is the Hollywood Backlot Brawl.
Oh,
this was a good match. Sorry,
that was good.
This was dope.
Of course, it was intercut with actual footage from the OJ.
I don't care. It was still. Oh yeah, because that's too tacky for them.
But it was funny that they actually showed OJ footage.
It was fucking phenomenal. But yeah, Piper and Goldust had a backlot brawl. It was great.
That led to the ring.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart in a 1 hour match.
This is where Shawn Michaels won his first WWF title.
It was fucking amazing. These two had an incredible match. Oh, one of the best WrestleMania matches.
Oh yeah,
phenomenal.
Phenomenal. WrestleMania 13?
Yes.
Another lean year.
Yeah.
Taker fought Sid.
Yeah.
Stone Cold and Bret Hart had a great match.
Oh yeah, well they always do. But yeah, no, this
was Bret Hart's final WrestleMania?
Yeah. Was it?
I believe so.
Yeah, because this is when he went heel. Because he was gone before. Yeah, because it was. Yeah, he was definitely gone very fast. Because this is where he went heel. Because he busted open Austin.
Yeah.
and put the sharpshooter on way too
this was the double
infamous,
switch.
Yeah, the double switch, yeah.
And it was Hart's last WrestleMania.
It was.
So,
Weird.
and this was the rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep, this is where he went to infamy.
And this is where WrestleMania 14 comes in, and the beginning of the Attitude Era.
Very much so, yes.
With Stone Cold Steve Austin fighting HBK with Mike Tyson.
Tyson
Iron Mike
referee.
Tyson, back when Iron Mike Tyson's name meant something.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Have they ever really quite said why Austin wasn't fighting Tyson?
Well, fighting in what aspect?
In any way,
like
shape,
in a match?
or form. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they just wanted to keep him out of the ring. Like, they didn't want to do what LT did. Because, to be fair, LT was kind of retired or near retirement at that time.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson was, like, in his prime.
Yeah.
They didn't want him to get hurt.
He wasn't in his prime at that time. No, he was almost over by this point.
Well, no, he was still doing World Championship fights.
Oh, I know, but
so,
I would say he's definitely not in his prime.
But he probably just didn't want to risk any kind of injury.
I don't know, because, I mean, you gotta think, like, look how long he was on TV.
Plus, I don't know how good-looking a Stone Cold Steve Austin Tyson brawl would have been.
I think they could have worked it out, because Tyson has gone on record as he's a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah, massive.
You know, and he's a natural athlete. He would have done all right, and I think they would have tried. And, I mean, it was a big fucking deal when that Raw happened, and Tyson and, like, basically Austin and Tyson got into it. That was big. I remember that happening, and that was fucking huge. Oh, yeah. So the fact that it was
going,
this,
you ruined it.
Exactly.
You ruined it, Austin. You ruined it.
Exactly. That was some great shit. So it just seemed kind of weird how it all went down. I mean, I understand, you know, Shawn Michaels lost his smile.
Yeah.
And then his back was injured and shit like that and all that stuff.
He fought, and he wrestled that match with a broken back.
Yeah, he did a great, like, you know, I mean, the losing your smile thing has been made fun of to death, so I won't do it here.
He's made fun of it.
He's made fun of it. Triple H probably did the best one I ever saw on the 1000th episode of Raw, where him and Billy Gunn are fighting over who's going to do the fucking, like, and if you're not down with that, we get 2 words for you. And then Hunter pulls him aside and just sort of, like, pushes Sean away, and he goes, come on, just let him do it, or he's going to lose his smile. One of the best things I ever heard. Like, that shit was good, because that lose your smile shit was stupid. But yeah, no, I mean, that's, I don't know, it just seemed odd, but you know what, again, it was a great match.
When he came in at the end and
count
the 3 and Stone Cold won his first time.
Yeah, and then he's, you know, he rips off his shirt. Why am I getting a text when I'm not supposed to? But yeah, no, it was good. It was really good. I should not be getting a text. I don't know what the hell's going on.
You ruined the show. God damn it. It's over now.
I can't help it.
Let's just stop it.
My idiot friends just want to get a hold of me.
You're just that popular.
A little bit.
Speaking of popular.
Yes.
Stone Cold.
Very
popular.
Stone Cold. Stone Cold.
Now that Shawn Michaels is gone.
Yes.
This was Shawn Michaels' last WrestleMania for a few years.
Yeah.
Stone Cold was given the ball. He was going to run with it.
And he ran, motherfucker.
And he had a good partner run with it. Because this was the first Rock versus Stone Cold
match. Was.
WrestleMania 15.
Oh, I love The Rock and Stone Cold fighting. Oh, it was so awesome.
And it was a great match. Obviously, The Rock going in as the heel, corporation, all that jazz, Stone Cold, anti-authority, and whatnot.
This is after
Big Show fought.
Yeah, Big Show. Was he even called Big Show at this point?
Paul White, the Big Show, Paul White.
Yeah.
Taker fought Bam Bam.
Oh God, this is when
he fought Boss Man in the Hell in a Cell.
Unfortunately, this is when they had the culmination of the Brawl for All.
Yeah, this was the Brawl for All culmination.
Was stupid. Oh Jesus! And they found out. They realized they fucked up because Butterbean knocked out Bart Gunn in like 5 seconds.
Yep.
Big mistake. But yeah, so I mean, good, decent.
It was decent, but it was the beginning of the Rock Stone Cold feud that would last for a good 4 or 5 years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, WrestleMania 2000. The only non-number WrestleMania.
Yep.
Because they were entering a new millennium.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the triangle ladder match.
Yeah.
With Edge and Christian, Hardys, and Bubba Ray and Devon. And they raised the bar a little too high.
Even for that.
As Edge has stated in
they have said many times they probably should have held back a little. But this was actually the moment that I became a Jeff Hardy fan. When he did the swanton off that giant fucking ladder, I just said, I'm watching this kid forever.
Yeah.
Because That was fucking impressive, because we'd never seen anything like that at the time. This was completely new.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, really,
dangerous.
because he fucking does it all the time now.
Yeah.
But back then, we never saw that before, so that was fucking amazing. So seeing it was just really fucking cool.
And of course, we had the Fatal 4-Way for the WWF title with a McMahon in each corner.
Yeah, this was weird. Mick Foley had already retired at this point.
But it was brought back by Linda.
Yeah, whatever. I hated the main event. The main event sucked.
This was Triple H's rise, obviously.
It was, yeah. It's where he ascended to I mean, it took him a long time to get where he is, but
because you gotta look like what WrestleMania 12.
Well, that's the thing. He had a lot of people. He had a lot of people in his way, though.
Yeah.
To get to the top, there was a lot of people in front of him, and it's not like he was being held down by people who suck.
He just bided his time.
Well, that was the thing, and it's not like where Bret Hart was saddled by people like fucking Psycho Sid who were in his spot. No. Triple H had The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Shawn Michaels in front of him. It's not like he doesn't. It's not like these people don't deserve to be at the top. Like, they deserve to be here, and unfortunately Triple H was in a period of time where this is kind of where he had to be.
And he waited.
He waited, and he got it. He
got
it. Yeah, no, he got it. He is where he is. He's the game. He's the King of Kings, blah, blah, blah. He's got as many nicknames as WrestleMania.
Yep.
So...
we cut to WrestleMania X7, and what many people say is the greatest WrestleMania of all the time.
They might be right.
It had a lot.
It did have some amazing shit.
It had a lot. It had McMahon versus McMahon, Shane versus Vince.
Yeah.
The moment where Linda was supposed to be invalid, and she stood up, she pointed at Vince and kicked him right in the beanbag. This was Stone Cold Rock 2 with the Stone Cold heel turn with McMahon.
Yeah, which, I mean, say what you will about his heel turn, it was kind of stupid because it didn't work, but whatever.
It was shocking. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Stone Cold and McMahon are working together after all those years?
But, I mean, it had everything.
You had the TLC match.
Yep.
Where they topped themselves. I don't know how they did.
Not all that surprising. I mean, you get those 6 guys in a room.
And then you threw Lita in there, and Rhino.
Yeah, they did everybody came, and Spike Dudley. Like, they did a great job. Like, that was a great way to do it. I mean, fucking Lita took a horrible bump that just...
Oh, yeah.
Her head. Jesus Christ, poor girl.
Of course, the gimmick battle royal.
Yeah.
With Hillbilly Jim and the Goon and all those guys. And Bobby and Gene called it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yes, I remember that well.
And Triple H and The Undertaker's first true solid WrestleMania match.
Yes. Oh, yes, I remember
he fought,
that well.
And this was when it was starting to be a thing.
Yeah.
This was truly when it started to be like, he's winning a lot of Mania matches.
Yeah.
In a row.
That was the thing.
It was never in a row because he was not actually at 10.
No, he wasn't. But it was the thing they started to realize. Like, again, as we've always stated with the streak, is the best accident the WWE's ever had because they didn't realize. I think it wasn't until here that they sort of went, hey, wait a minute, he's never lost at Mania. Interesting.
Right.
So yeah, that's where that started.
X8.
Yes.
I went to the X8.
Really?
I did.
Oh, nice.
And truly. Well, I was at the time I believe I was 13.
Wow.
So I was aware, but also not aware. You know what I mean? Like
it had that song "Tear Away" by Drowning Pool that I actually kind of like.
Yeah. Oh no. So
I just noticed that
Saliva and Drowning Pool both performed live.
I hate Saliva, but yeah.
I believe Saliva played out Triple H. And Drowning Pool played out the Dudleys.
Yeah.
Obviously, The Rock versus Hogan.
I think was a big deal.
It was kind of a big deal. It's the only time I've ever seen Hulk Hogan wrestle live.
Yeah.
Everybody truly booed The Rock out of the building, not because he was bad, but because it was fucking
Hogan.
Hulk
it was
Hogan.
weird because I remember this was the first time I went to a movie theater to see, because this was back when it first began that they were showing pay-per-views in movie theaters. We went, me and a couple friends actually went to this, and it was weird. It was 50-50.
Really?
It was half The Rock, half Hogan.
Let's go
Actually, I went with a girlfriend, I think, at the time, now that I think about it. But whatever, not important. But yeah, no, it was 50-50 in that movie theater. And it was kind of weird because I kind of enjoyed the movie theater aspect of it. I'm like,
oh no, movie theaters are fun.
We're chanting in a movie theater. Like, it's kind of cool.
If you go with your buddies, it's fun.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Y2J and Triple H had to follow that.
And this is where the WWF sort of realized, hey, if we have a match like this, maybe we should make it the main event. Doesn't matter if it's a title.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, is this not where Chris Jericho became the first undisputed?
Well, not the first undisputed. He defeated... Triple H defeated Y2J to lose the undisputed championship.
Yeah.
Because Stephanie McMahon turned heel on Triple H.
Right,
aligned with Chris Jericho to take down Triple H.
I remember that.
This was Triple H turning face.
Mm-hmm.
And because he was coming back from an injury, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and he came back in victory and won the title. Now it was a good match, but it had to follow Rock versus Hogan.
Yeah.
And even Y2J and Triple H were like, we don't want to go on after that.
No, we don't want to do this. Like, come on. But, and they even they've said before, is like, the crowd was done.
Yeah.
Like, we were never going to wow them because the crowd was done. Yeah.
WrestleMania 19, underrated, I think.
It was a good.
I like to think underrated. We got HBK coming back from his self-imposed retirement.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it had to have Limp Bizkit involved.
Yeah. But it was HBK versus Y2J in a great match.
Yes.
Booker T got a world title match against Triple H.
Yeah. Oh, this is where Brock Lesnar had that hideous
Brock Lesnar, impressive until he landed.
Oh God, that still makes me cringe
but
to this day.
It was still a great match with Angle.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was a good match.
And this was Hogan versus Vince.
Yeah, which everybody
Piper,
wanted to see. Yeah.
And that image of Vince McMahon with his blood red face creeping up from the ring apron with that fucking smile.
Face,
He literally looked like the devil.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, it was... that's wrestling at its finest.
Yeah.
Say what you will with the match, because the match was a clusterfuck, but, it's just... Again, you don't need highly talented people to put on a fucking show, and these two put on a great fucking show.
Yeah.
But, that was that match. It was good.
WrestleMania 20?
Yes.
The Rock came back.
He did.
To wrestle a match. Mm-hmm. At that point, his final WrestleMania match for 8 years.
Yeah.
He fought with Mick Foley. Did a Rock and Sock Connection reunion.
Mm-hmm.
They fought Evolution.
Yeah.
Which was a big thing at the time. Evolution was big.
Yeah. God, was this really that long ago?
We're at 9 years ago.
Wow. God, this is so weird that Evolution was really that long ago?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you're reading this right?
Yep. Because it was Batista, Randy Orton, and Ric Flair fought the Rock and Sock.
I guess you're right. Wow, Jesus, time flew.
And Triple H, Chris Benoit, and HBK were the main event.
Yeah.
The main event that no one talks about anymore.
No, we'll never hear about that again.
Great triple threat in that match, though.
Yeah.
And... Of course, Goldberg and Brock Lesnar getting booed out of the building because they were both leaving the company.
Yeah.
This was also Brock's last WrestleMania match until this year.
This was another period of time where I wasn't watching.
Periods?
Yeah, so I didn't see. I didn't see any of this. I have no real memory of it. I know I've seen it because I've seen
Eddie Guerrero beat Angle.
That must have been good.
Of course, that image at the end with Eddie Guerrero as WWF champion, or WWE champion at the time, and Chris Benoit as the world champion with confetti coming down. These two friends who were just like, it took us like almost 15, 20 years to get here.
We finally got here.
We're both here and we're both world champions.
Like, that's good. Yeah, no, that is... I remember that. Yeah, that was... Actually, that was very sweet. That's kind of... Making me tear up a little bit. That's kind of nice.
WrestleMania 21?
Considering the future, but,
future.
We try not to think about that.
No.
21, the last of my box set.
WrestleMania goes Hollywood.
It really does.
This was the invention of the Money in the Bank match.
Yes, which was a fucking good idea.
John Cena winning his first title.
Boo.
No, this was good Cena because he's...
this was the United States. It was literally later this year that I went, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Aki Bono fought Big Show in a sumo wrestling match.
Yes.
And Batista fought Triple H in the main event.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That just happened. Taker and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Did you really think Orton was going to win this match?
No.
Yeah.
It was kind of nothing. The Money in the Bank wasn't even that big because we didn't know what the Money in the Bank
No, we didn't know what it was going to be.
Until Edge did what he did.
Exactly. It never really occurred to us until later on of what that was going to be.
Yeah.
So,
WrestleMania 22.
Mm-hmm.
HBK versus Vince McMahon.
Yes.
Vince McMahon has had awesome matches at WrestleMania.
He has.
Bret Hart match that we're going to talk about notwithstanding.
Yeah, no, well, you know.
But the HBK match and the Hulk Hogan match, like, McMahon knows how to take a beating in the best way
Oh, well, I mean,
possible.
that's the thing. You know, Vince McMahon, think about it for a minute here. Vince McMahon is a millionaire. Does he need to be doing what he does?
No.
No. But does he do it? Yes.
It's fun for him.
He still does it to this day.
Yeah.
He still occasionally has a match.
He takes a bump.
He does take a bump. Hell, he took one recently.
Yeah.
So, good on you, Vince, because, yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why you do it. You don't have to.
No.
Interesting fact about this WrestleMania. Tickets sold out in under 2 minutes.
Yeah, this was the beginning of, like, Mania, selling out in, like, record times.
Like, that's fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Rey Mysterio fought Orton and Angle, and this was Ray Ray's first world title, mainly because Eddie Guerrero unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, I still disagree with this to this day, but, you know, I understand why they had to do it.
Ray was still cool. I mean,
he's fine. It's just...
World champion? Maybe not.
It's not... I don't buy it.
And this was Cena's first world championship.
Yeah.
He beat Triple H. Yeah.
John Cena should have stayed mid-Carter, always, but that's just me. That's sour grapes that I can't do much about.
WrestleMania 23.
Yes.
Billionaire versus billionaire. The match was obviously whatever because it was Bobby Lashley Umaga, but the build-up between Trump and Vince. But the build-up between Trump and Vince
was phenomenal.
And the payoff was phenomenal when Stone Cold and Trump and Bobby Lashley held him down the chair and shaved his head off.
Yeah, no, I mean, they talk about it. They talked about it on Raw.
Just shaved him bald.
Yeah, they talked about it on, I think it was SmackDown recently, where they're just like, where basically they were talking about Donald Trump going into the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Where Vince is like, I think the wrong person's got his head shaved. Yeah. But, I mean, nobody was shaving fucking Donald Trump's head.
Ooh,
so.
We wouldn't have agreed to that.
No.
And Cena defeated HBK, of course.
Yeah, no surprise there.
But imagine beating Triple H and Shawn Michaels back-to-back years.
Yeah, and this was weird because at WrestleMania, this is where Undertaker really is a bad judge of character sometimes, is he gave Batista the first kick out to the tombstone.
Yeah. I know.
Fuck you, Batista.
I know. Bautista.
Yes.
Bautista.
Very much so.
WrestleMania 24.
Yes.
What should have been Ric Flair's last match.
Should have been, but
and it was such a beautiful moment.
Oh God,
I'm sorry,
I love you.
He kicks him in the face and pins him.
God, like how do you fucking come back
and of course,
after that?
Shawn Michaels literally he pinned him, rolled right out of the ring, walked away.
Yeah, did exactly what he was supposed to do.
He ghosted. He was done.
He was like, you could have seen his shadow in the ring still while he was gone.
Because he knew this was Flair's moment.
Yeah.
He was like, take it, Rick.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say I love you later.
Yeah, like, oh God, it was so perfect. And of course, Flair had to fucking ruin it.
Of course. Yeah. But this was also the night where Floyd Money Mayweather knocked out the Big Show.
Which was a lot better than it deserved to be.
Yeah.
That should have sucked. That really should have sucked.
Big Show kind of made it awesome.
Yeah, kind of. The rest of the match, the rest of the card.
Taker, this was Taker's, I think, Taker's one and only main event.
Yeah.
He fought Edge for the title.
He did.
Won,
of
course.
Yeah. Yeah, most of this was kind of pointless.
I know.
Gotta say,
but Flair's retirement and Taker match.
I mean, that was pretty much. Yeah, this is to me, this is sort of the beginning of the WrestleMania really sucks for a while. Where it's like there's a handful of decent
There's a couple lean ones.
Then,
WrestleMania 25.
Yep.
Matt versus Jeff. Course.
Yeah. Surprising that they actually gave them a Mania match because they never split them up before.
No.
Because whenever they tried, they hated the match that came out of it, so they'd be like, "Fuck this, we're not letting it happen."
And Y2J fought Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Jimmy Snuka with Ric Flair. Yeah. And and the returning Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Oh, I remember this.
This was the match was kind of terrible because of Piper and Snuka.
Fuck off! It was awesome.
No, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know, but
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The backlash after. When it was supposed to be Y2J versus Ricky Steamboat. Mm-hmm. That was amazing.
Oh yeah,
and that's what this should have been.
Yeah,
right? We shouldn't have had Jimmy Snuka trying to roll around in there, Piper roll around in there. Yeah. Just give me just give me Ricky Steamboat
versus
and Jericho.
Y2J. Yeah, that would have been really, really good. But
and how fucking
Oh, I know.
Messed up in the head was Chris Jericho standing across the ring from his idol.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm going to wrestle Ricky Steamboat.
Well, I still remember when Jericho fought Shawn Michaels at Mania.
WrestleMania 19?
Yeah, where he basically, he like makes a heel turn on Michaels and is crying on his way out of the ring. Like, that's a wrestling fan, dude. So,
but, like, him saying, like obviously his favorite match is WrestleMania 3 with Ricky Steamboat going, I've idolized you my whole life, and now I'm standing across the ring
at WrestleMania. Well, it's the same. It's the same kind of thing. As like, so far, Chris Jericho has lived the dream life for a wrestling fan. Like, oh my god.
And of course, this was the first of 2 HBK versus Undertaker matches,
which I would complain, except awesome.
Yeah.
No complaints. None whatsoever.
It was a lean WrestleMania.
It was a handful of decent matches. Like again,
but HBK versus fucking Undertaker.
Oh, I know.
Entrances alone.
Oh yeah, no.
With Shawn Michaels coming from the heavens and fucking Undertaker rising from hell.
Everything. It was so perfect.
Oh my god.
And again, like, we sort of touched on it, but the Jeff and Matt Hardy was a good match.
It was a good match.
It was surprisingly good for these two because you wouldn't assume that they would put on a decent match, but they did.
We get WrestleMania 26 from AZ, Arizona.
Yes.
This is the Bret Hart versus Vince.
Yeah.
WrestleMania, where it was terrible.
It was,
because you had the whole Harts there, and they were supposed to be against Bret Hart, but then they were with Bret Hart.
It was them not really realizing what they're supposed to be doing.
You know what? I'm happy because this was Vince's final penance for what he did, and now Bret Hart's okay with the company.
Yeah, now we can...
Because you allowed me to destroy you for 15 minutes with a steel chair.
It's over, we're good, let's move on.
Basically, this was Vince going, here's a steel chair, I want you to take
all of your aggression and just fucking hit me with it.
Here's my back, here you go.
Yeah,
give me my licks.
Yeah.
And then we're good, right? It was probably in the contract going, I get to beat you up for 10 minutes with a chair. Yeah. Okay.
And, he did a good job. And, but yeah, the rest of the card, kind of lame. Wow.
I mean, Undertaker versus HBK 2.
Well, again, we like that.
Yeah.
They stole the show twice. We knew that.
Yep.
But yeah, kind of lame.
WrestleMania 27.
Yeah.
Hosted by The Rock. The return to WrestleMania for The Rock.
Which is where the backlash for The Rock began for most people. Yep. Let's face it. Like I said, I will always mark out for The Rock. Always. Mm-hmm. He had been gone for too long, let's just say. He's a shadow of his former self. We all know it. I mean, do I secretly in my head, when he says finally, do I sing along with him in my head? Absolutely. Is he what he used to be? Is he anywhere near what he used to be? No. And this was proof.
Yep. Undertaker fought Triple H.
Yeah.
It was a great match.
It was.
And this was the first time
that
we really saw Undertaker like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oof. Like he's winded.
Like he got carted off,
he
remember?
Did. Yeah,
like,
he did.
legitimately got carted off.
This is where we're starting to be like, because it's where we get to when we discuss it later is there's a chance he may lose the streak tomorrow. Because I don't think he can do this anymore.
Yeah.
So, and this is where we started to realize, like, he might be on his last legs, and this is where we first saw it. So,
Trish, John Morrison, and Snooki from the Jersey Shore fought Dolph Ziggler and the Beautiful People, Michelle McCool, and Layla.
Which is fine. Snooki surprised me.
I'll give Snooki ultimate credit.
Yep.
For that fucking
flip she did. The flip, what do they call it?
I don't know what
there's a name for it, but she did, and I rewatched
and she did it to perfection.
Yes, she did it well, and she was nervous about it too. Like if you rewatch it, you can see her face when she's about to do it. She's just like, "Oh God, I can't fuck this up."
Yeah.
You can see it in her face, where
and
she's
she
just like,
"Here
we go," and she did it perfectly.
Perfection.
She did it well.
It's the only thing I will ever give that woman credit for.
No, she gets no other credit. Like this is it. Like Snooki, enjoy your 5 minutes for me because this is all you're getting. But she did all right. Like I have no arguments, no complaints.
And of course, what some of the internet people would call the worst main event in WrestleMania history.
I don't remember it.
The Miz fought John Cena.
Oh, why is this the worst in history?
But you know what I mean, right? Because the internet hates The Miz, the internet hates John Cena.
Well, the internet doesn't like anyone.
But I loved it because The Miz beat John Cena.
Yeah.
And it was John Cena's first pinfall loss at a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And The Miz came out And this was the first sighting of the awesome balloon that he like pushes away when he walks through. Mm-hmm. And, you know, The Rock obviously had something to do with it, which led to the match.
Yes.
But
it's just fine.
But that was an alright WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was okay.
These have been lean years,
yes,
let's be honest.
Yes,
we're between 26, 27, and last year, 28. Mm-hmm. Hopefully tomorrow turns it around.
Tomorrow might. It's shaping up to be awesome.
But we got one more WrestleMania before we get into tomorrow, and that's WrestleMania 28 last year. Mm-hmm. Another lean one.
Yeah, lean.
CM Punk fought Y2J, and that was a good match.
Which was really good, yes. No,
you know, but you had stuff like Team Johnny versus Team Teddy.
Yeah.
You know? Kane versus Orton.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan losing the world title in 18 seconds.
18 seconds, which was fucking idiotic. And of course, you know, you had Triple H and Taker, 9?
Mm-hmm. Also, I didn't make note.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania 27 was the last match for Edge ever.
That's true.
He retired after that.
He did.
Because of a neck injury.
You're right, yeah.
So, thankfully, he won. I mean, to be fair, he won only because they didn't know he was retiring.
Yeah.
So he lucked out, because usually you lose your last match.
You have to lose, yeah. Well, I mean, he probably liked it, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, you're supposed to go out on your back, though, I mean, in all fairness. But whatever, it's fine.
But last year, like I said, lean year, Triple H versus Taker.
Yeah.
It was cool because it was in the cell,
and
Michaels was the ref, and it was kind of cool to see, like, Michaels and Triple H, like, what the hell? We can't. Together we can't beat him.
Yeah.
Because that was so cool. When he hit the super kick into the pedigree, you're like, that's it.
Yeah. And then
when he chipped out of that, you're like, the streak's never ending.
Yeah.
It can't.
Yeah. Because it was just showing, like, my God, this man might in fact be inhuman. Yep. It was good.
And of course, we had The Rock and Cena. At the time, once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
it
was billed as the once-in-a-lifetime match.
Now, of course, that has been rectified by Cena saying, listen, at the time, we thought it would be once in a lifetime.
We
thought The Rock wouldn't want to come back.
That was the tagline of the show, for God's sakes.
No, but to be fair, he's kind of right. Because at the time, they probably said, okay, The Rock's going to win.
Yeah,
this isn't for a title, so it's not like he gets to stick around. He'll win his match. It's in his backyard, so that's why he's there.
Yep. Nobody ever assumed he'd come back.
So, you know, so that's why it was a tagline.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
So, but it was a good match, solid.
It was okay.
Won, and people were like, "What the?"
That was the biggest thing.
We were at a big WrestleMania party, and that caught the room off guard.
The entire room just went, "What?"
Because the match is kind of happening. You know how some Mania parties are, where it's just like people are talking during the match, even if it's the main event.
Yeah.
But then when The Rock hit the thing and 1, 2, 3, everyone's like,
"What the fuck just happened?"
It just ended.
Yeah.
No, it's not over. No.
Yeah.
And our one friend who's a big Cena fan's like, no! He's like Darth Vader at the end of Star Wars. No!
He was, too. Oh, God, I was so happy that day.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the last 3 years have been lean, to say the least. Of course, the Taker has been amazing the last 3 years. That's the one good. That's the one.
Thankfully, he's been pulling it out as best as humanly possible.
So we are now at the hour mark.
Well, we actually went through that faster than I thought we would.
We'll now get into WrestleMania 29.
Yes.
The granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania 29. And
tomorrow we are coming home, as they say.
Yep. And to be fair, holy crap.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously, holy crap.
I know.
This is the first year in a long time where there's at least 3 matches?
At least 3 matches I'm desperate to see right now.
That the world is... I mean, granted, there are some people saying, rematches, bullshit.
Who gives a shit? They look good.
Trust me. It's good.
Yes.
So we run it down.
Yes.
The one unfortunate thing, but that's because of time constraints, pre-show is going to be Wade Barrett versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship.
But... I mean, in all fairness...
But there are 10 matches, and plus entrances, and promos, and
I'm
stuff like Sean Diddy.
Yeah.
Diddy's going to be thing, and they're going to have to bring out the Hall of Famers, of course. I mean, Bruno Sammartino, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
like this is going to be at WrestleMania.
This is going to be a 4-hour event that is going to be packed to the fucking gills, so... You got to understand. And I'm sure even Wade Barrett and The Miz understand.
The pre-show is an hour long.
Yeah. So
a match has to be there.
They're giving the pre-show something.
Exactly.
Least,
it's going to be the only match at the pre-show, so you can give it as much time on the pre-show.
Well, that's the thing. They're probably going to get 20 minutes.
The funny thing is, those guys are going to come out, and they're probably going to 20-minute match, and they're probably going to steal the show before the show even starts.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you know probably what the first match is going to be, and it's probably going to be better than the first match.
And knowing those two, they're going to go out and go, okay, you want to put us in the pre-show?
Yeah.
We're going to give you
a
fucking
give you a show. Exactly. Because these guys are young and hungry, and they're going to do what they do. So, fuck them, They're going to do exactly what they need to do.
Tons of Funk and the Funkadactyls versus the Rhodes Scholars and the Bellas. It'll be a clusterfuck.
I like Funk Inc. or Tons of Funk or whatever.
And the Funkadactyls can
go.
They can go. As we've seen the last month, they can go.
It's gonna be a fun match. Like plain and simple, it's gonna be fun.
Rhodes Scholars are going to come out and cut a hell of a promo probably on the way to the ring.
Definitely.
They got quite the walk, so they have quite the time to cut a promo.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah.
And of course, Chris Jericho versus.
Fandango.
And everyone hates him.
Yeah.
Except for us.
I love him.
I love Fandango. I still remember. You remember it, Fandango.
Oh, yeah. Fandango.
And fuck this guy.
Yeah, no, we hated him. Now he's like, I cannot wait to see his match. He's the fourth match I really want to see. God, I hope he can wrestle. Holy shit, I hope he can wrestle.
Well, even if he's
facing Jericho, thankfully.
Jericho's got him.
Jericho's going to put him over. You know he is.
And Jericho. Jericho's always looking to steal manias.
Yeah, and and Fandango's got a lot to fucking prove. So it's going to be. I do predict if they give him the 20 minutes that they should. I do predict this is going to be a match we're going to be talking about very favorably on the next show. Mm-hmm. So.
Do we want to do predictions for matches, winners, and everything?
I don't know. Do you?
I mean, well, I guess we can.
All right. Well, fuck it.
Tons of Funk versus Rhodes Scholars. I think
Tons of Funk.
Yeah. And Fandango versus Y2J.
Fandango.
Yeah, me too. Because I think they got Y2J's on a not a permanent basis. So you might as well push the new guys.
Well, that's the thing. And also Barrett and Miz.
Yeah.
Miz.
You're gonna think Miz gonna new champ.
Yep.
Hell No versus Biggie and Ziggy.
I'm going with Biggie Ziggy.
I'm saying Hell No because you need to think.
There's the rumor, that I think he. Well, yeah, that's
dude,
true.
He has till July.
That's right.
That's not too far from now.
Yeah.
They now that they put a date on it, it expires in July.
You might be right, because they actually have said.
It obviously depends on where it is on the card. If it's before the world title match.
I think it'll be before the world title match for that reason.
But and not only before, how many matches before?
You're right. You might be right. I guess Team Hell No will retain.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a solid match. This is just like Fandango.
Yeah.
Biggie is debuting as far as the main roster is concerned on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And for these two guys, although they've wrestled on NXT before, to debut on the main show.
Yeah.
On the main roster, on the biggest show of the year, where you have literally millions upon millions of eyes on you. Mm-hmm. Pressure.
Oh God, yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Pressure.
Under pressure.
Seriously.
Yeah, really.
These guys, but Biggie can go.
Well, I've never seen that. Most people haven't seen it, so yeah, I'm assuming he's gonna bring his shit to the table for sure.
Ryback.
Yeah.
Fighting Mr. Mark Henry.
I predict 5 minutes. Ryback wins.
Yeah, I predict it's going to explode the ring.
I think the entrances will last longer than the actual match.
Yes.
Or more so.
It's going to be bowling shoe ugly, and it's going to be hard hitting, and it's going to be awesome.
Pretty much, yeah.
Of course, once again, not many people are seeing it that way. But
yeah, but you know what? Fuck the IWC.
Yeah, I know.
Plain and simple. We've said it before.
We'll
say it again. Yeah. But so are they, so it's all good.
So it's all good. Super Friends 3.0.
Yeah.
Through good and bad. Good times and bad times.
Sadly,
they prevailed their way to Mania.
Sadly, I see them going over the Shield.
I say the Shield, just because that's a hope. That's a hope.
I want the
Shield.
Because
they're new.
I want the Shield, but I do see somebody's got to take them down. I think it'll be that big,
punch,
hurrah moment in WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. So you say Shield, I say Super Friends. To be fair,
no,
what do you think of the build? But what do you think of the build? Like,
the build has been great.
Yeah.
Well, the Shield part of it has been good. Super Friends 3.0 is bullshit.
Yeah, but it's only because they needed 3 guys.
They needed, I mean, throwing Big Show in there was just such bullshit, because if he goes back to being a heel, which he probably will, it's fucking retarded.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, it's just dumb.
Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. Obviously, it's been trailing off in the last couple of weeks.
I have lost all interest in this match. But it will be a good match.
Hopefully the match will
I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good.
The road has been long and there's been a lot of potholes, but if the destination is awesome, then it's all been worth it.
I personally don't think there's any way ADR is going to retain.
Well, I think he'll probably win.
I don't think so.
Well, first off, why would they give Jack Swagger the thing after his whole DUI?
I would agree, except for the fact that they've put I think the reason why they didn't cancel the Puff the Magic Dragon... the reason they didn't cancel his push is because they've invested way too much into it. To have it fail?
Either way, whoever wins, it doesn't matter. Because I honestly think...
It's not over.
I think Dolph Ziggler is going to cash in.
Oh, I do too.
So, either way who wins, Dolph Ziggler is coming out as world title. The thing. I hope. Once again, that's a hope, not a prediction. It's a hope.
I hope so because that would be the only thing that would make sense in some ways. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows?
But even if it happens, it won't be that much of a surprise because we'll be like, finally, holy crap, it's been like a year.
He's had that fucking thing for a long time to the point where it's literally been used so much to beat people, it's deformed. So, come on. Cash it in already.
Now we get to the big three.
Yeah.
With Brock Lesnar versus Triple H. It's going to also be bowling shoe ugly.
Yeah.
No holds barred, it's going to be a plunder match.
There will be blood.
There will probably be blood.
There will be blood. I think, and it might be somewhat controversially, I do believe that Triple H goes over Lesnar.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I don't know if it's controversial because a lot of people think... Because you'd have to think, as much as he's on his last legs, they're not going to put a retirement stip on him.
They don't need... Triple H never needs to retire.
Yeah.
Because we all know what he does. There's no kayfabe anymore, right? We know what he's doing. We know he works for the company. We know he's backstage. He loves coming out and wrestling.
Yeah.
He wants to be the next Taker.
Of course,
he wants to come out every WrestleMania.
Unlike Taker, Triple H is legitimately working on 2 fucked quads.
Oh, I'm aware.
So the fact that he's walking around is kind of a miracle.
Yeah, true.
Let alone wrestling. Even if it is once a year, there's always that. Always that chance where his leg can go south, and then he's in a wheelchair the rest of his life.
I agree. However, there hasn't been enough fanfare.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that their fault, or is that the fact that the fans just refuse to give it fair?
I think it might be their fault.
Okay.
I do think.
I mean, they're trying their damnedest to sell it.
Yeah, but they're not selling it hard enough. You know what I mean? They're not showing the Triple H. Here, this is your life packages.
Right.
That they usually do.
You think if they were showing that, it would be the end?
It would be the end. I don't think it's the end. I think he wants one more, and I don't think he wants Brock Lesnar, of all people, to be the one to take him down.
But I'm just coming from the fact that he's seen Ric Flair retire on his back, on his shield. His best friend, Shawn Michaels, go on his back, on his shield.
Yes.
Both at Mania.
Yes.
Don't you think he wants to go out the exact same way?
He'll definitely go on Mania.
It just won't be this Mania.
I just don't think it's this one.
But here's the thing. If they do another retirement match next year or the year after...
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously don't want to look too far into the future, but people are like, another retirement match and another Mania? What the fuck?
Yeah, but everyone knows that's how he's going to go down, so I don't think anybody will be like, what the fuck?
So you think it'll be... He'll do it on a Mania, just not this Mania.
Just not this one. I could be talking on my ass, but I don't think so.
I'm predicting Triple H just because he needs his win back from SummerSlam.
That's what I mean. Like, it just seems like for him to go down twice...
It's typical wrestling.
Yeah.
He needs to get his win back.
Not to mention, his wife is creative.
Yeah.
Like, she's the one calling the shots on this. Is he really going to let this go?
Right.
Is he really? He's defending his family, for God's sakes.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And
I'm going to go with The Rock versus Cena right now because I want to talk about The Undertaker Punk last because I want that to be last.
Yeah, but it's not going to be, but I want it to be last.
But right now we're going to talk about Rock Cena because that's how it should be.
Yep.
Rock versus Cena. 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I'm saying Rock retains.
Yeah.
I am.
Really?
Yeah, because Rock has signed on for the next pay-per-view.
Yep.
So
now, do you really think they're going to have him beat Cena, their boy, 2 years in a row at Mania?
I do.
Now, do you, like most people on the internet, say that Cena, this is where Cena turns heel because there have been rumors? Of course, there's rumors about that at every Mania, at every year.
No, Cena will never turn heel. I would love to see it, but it'll never fucking happen. He's too good to the company as a face. He's the top merchandise guy. He's the one who does all the fucking
Make-A-Wish and all that
Make-A-Wish shit. He's not gonna fucking go heel. It's just suicide for that company.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, because okay, let's put it this way. Say you're Vince McMahon, right? And you're thinking, okay, what if I were to turn Cena heel? What would happen?
Mm-hmm.
The major fans, like the children, the women, the casual fans, are all going to hate him.
Yeah.
The small, tiny little IWC is going to love him.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck are you going to play to?
Yep, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Full wholeheartedly.
Because IWC doesn't pay the bills.
Nope.
At all.
Nope.
They all do exactly what we're doing for this WrestleMania. We're getting 20 of us together and paying for one pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
The average fan, one per household.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Vince makes no money off our backs. He's not going to placate to us ever.
Nope.
Except he gave us the Shield, and what'd you do? You shit on them too. So,
to be fair, I hope they get a win. So,
yeah.
But no, I saw Cena do something very funny on the internet recently.
Oh, really?
Because somebody asked him about turning heel.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, I'm going to do this for you, and I'm going to do this for the kids at home.
Yeah.
Look at my shoes. Look at my... And then he made the guy pan camera.
Right.
This is John Cena.
Yeah.
Turning heel. And then he turned his foot.
Nice.
We've all done that joke. But
Yes.
for him to do it on the internet, going, this is for all the smart marks out there. This is for you. And he calls it out. So it's not like he's just like, you know, man, I don't know about heel, but I'm just trying to go out there in Mania and really impress. No, he's actually talking about it.
Yeah.
And like, no, this is something
I love the fact that he talks to the internet fans a lot. When he did that whole thing, I will talk about this till the end of time. I gained nothing but respect for this man. When he literally asked the London crowd how many moves he has in his repertoire.
Yeah.
5, 6, tackles count. That was one of the best things he ever could have said. And it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So, that being said, he's not going to make his heel turn.
And Rock's going to win.
Rock is going to win. That's what I say.
Bold prediction. I say Cena, just because he's on like this meteoric rise, and he's got to get his heat back from being like beaten by everybody last year.
Mm-hmm.
And the main event, as we hope, but it probably won't be.
Yeah.
CM Punk versus Undertaker, and it is unfortunate. I'm obviously going to say this right off the bat. It is unfortunate that it took the death of a very good man.
Yes.
To add any kind of heat
That's
to
what I
this.
was about to say. Is I didn't want to say it. I've been thinking it all night, but I had to.
Because God only knows what the build would have been.
All I'm going to say about this is, I can't believe I'm about to say it. This makes me feel dirty saying it, but William Moody dying is the best thing that happened to this feud.
It's so sad to say it. It hurts. It's sickening to say it and sickening to think. It is. It's terrible.
It would have been a terrible feud had this not happened.
Like I'm sure Punk still would have tried to be like, I want to be the guy who did it, but then he would have sounded like every other guy.
Yes. And it just wouldn't have worked, but thankfully this happened. Oh, God.
Don't say that.
Oh, man, it's so hard to say this. It's so hard to talk.
No,
but
it's really...
Okay, let me put it this way. From a wrestling fan's perspective, it's good this happened.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying him dying is good, because it's certainly not.
No, God, no.
Nothing
he
but
will be
respect
missed.
for his family. Absolutely. I really, I wish Paul Bearer would come out. Like, had he not died, I really wish Paul Bearer could have come out at the end of the match to help The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Shit like that. That would have been amazing. But, I mean, this feud has legs because of his death.
And that's so sad, but
it sucks, but it's true.
And this is why people are like, oh, it's tasteless. But they went to the family, and they knew that this was going to help the feud. Yep. Unfortunately,
they knew they had no feud.
Yeah. But this is going to be a hell of a fucking match.
Oh, it's going to be great, because you know Taker is going to pound the shit out of Punk
and you know,
because of it.
You know what? Because Undertaker is going to dedicate the match to Paul Bearer, to William Moody. Because this match is going to be for him. So, he's not going to fuck around.
No.
This is probably going to be better than the Triple H matches. This is probably going to be better than the Shawn Michaels matches. You know, this has potential of being the best Undertaker WrestleMania match ever. Now my question to you is there any chance in hell that CM Punk has of being the one in 21, as he said.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
Because of every rumor I've heard, and I'm literally basing this on rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Taker has said, and I've heard him say this, he has actually said it to the media, that he does want the streak to end. And now all the rumors out there are that he loves Punk.
Mm-hmm.
He has always wanted to give Punk this shot.
Mm-hmm.
And, the rumor says that he wants Punk to be the one to do it.
Okay.
This is what I've heard.
Now, I've also heard that Punk might be taking time off after this pay-per-view.
All the more reason.
No, but here's the thing. If he's taking time off, then what's the point in giving him the streak if he's not there to gloat about it?
That's true. Fuck.
Like, if he's there next night...
Yeah.
Going, fucking best in the world! I beat the beat Undertaker! Fuck you!
Yeah.
I'm the man!
But is this really going to be his last match before he takes time off? Or is he going to come out on fucking Raw and just be like, I told you I was the fucking best in the world, now let's see how you do without me?
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean?
And the one thing I know I'm going to love about this match, it has been announced via WWE and via CM Punk himself.
Yes.
CM Punk is going to be played to the ring by Living Color.
Oh my god!
Living Color is going to play Cult of Personality live.
God!
And play him to the ring like Motorhead played Triple H to the ring.
Oh god, that's awesome!
And I'm hoping that they know all the words, because Motorhead didn't know all the words.
No,
there,
well,
so.
I mean, in all fairness, it's not like the game was their biggest hit.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Living Color has been announced to be in New York City to play CM Punk to the ring.
That's so awesome! That just makes life awesome.
And everyone's going to be like, that's awesome!
Yep.
Who the fuck are those guys?
Yeah. You and I might be the only guys who know who they are.
No, it's not in Living Color. The Wayans brothers aren't going to be up there on guitar and drums.
Although, how awesome would that be?
Yeah. This is the rock band from the 90s.
Yes.
Their biggest hit being
Cult of Personality. They would legitimately be considered one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
This was their song.
What were they? Groove metal?
Sort of rock metal-ish. Yeah. They tried to add a few things here and there.
And they were big at the time because they were
huge.
They were like the first real big all black metal band.
Yeah, they were a big deal.
They were a big deal. So to get these guys, I mean, these guys obviously have to thank CM Punk and the WWE.
God, yeah.
And they might even be doing this pro bono because...
well, no. Come on, let's not go crazy.
Well, no, they're probably not. They're probably not. But you know what I mean? Because of CM Punk and because of iTunes and because of WWE.
Well, and the fact that
how many purchases of Cult of Personality that boost, and then of course people were like, "That's a really good song. I'm going to listen to more Living Color. Oh my god, these guys are awesome. Buy their album. Buy their album. How much money do you think Living Color has made over the past 2 years?
No, true. And I mean, you got to think about looking at them being like, okay, so we're going to play the wrestler CM Punk to the ring at WrestleMania. They know for a fact that millions will be watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to do that because that's probably the biggest crowd they've had in 20 years.
In 20 years, I mean, not counting festivals.
Yeah.
That they probably played. This is probably the biggest crowd they've ever played in front of.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to assume that they're like, yeah, let's fucking do this shit.
And that's kind of interesting that the heel is being played to the ring.
Yeah, well, again, this sort of brings the whole Punk might do it.
Yeah.
I am...
So, out of,
I do not
10, what do you, excited, excite meter?
Well, hang on. Let me say this before we get off the predictions. I do not want the streak to end.
No, I don't think any wrestling fan does.
However, I do believe it will. Let me say that.
Let's just say I will be wearing my CM Punk t-shirt tomorrow.
Well, I'll be dressed all in black, but I'm always dressed all in black, so I don't know what that really means.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as excitement goes for this main event, well, not main event, but for the whole show, I'm at a solid fucking 8.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really
I'm
fucking
8
into
or 9,
this.
and if that's saying a lot, seeing that the last 3 have been like,
that's the thing. I have high hopes for this Mania, and I haven't had that in a long time. I've watched every Mania for the last 10 years live, easily, and I gotta tell you, this is the one I'm fucking right on. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, unlike, because last year we had a party, and we're going to have a party this year. Last year there was a lot of, like, talking and...
Yeah, like
I think I was in another room talking to other people during an entire match. I didn't give a fuck.
Oh,
I didn't care.
There was
I was there because of Mania, but I was there because it was a party.
Well, yeah, that's why I was there. I was there for a party,
is going to be different because it's going to be a party sale, but I'm probably going to be glued to the
TV.
Not just because I have to be taking my notes.
But I will be watching this because I don't have to take notes, and I won't be mingling like I was last year. I'll be glued for most of it. I mean, you know...
There'll be moments where you're like,
the ADR fucking thing match, I might sort of drop in and out, because I'm like, I really don't care anymore.
Right.
You know, shit like that, but generally, you know, there's a handful of matches where I'm like, I'm going to be glued to the fucking TV and I ain't leaving.
There's probably going to be a point where we're going to be like, hey, shut the fuck up. We're watching wrestling.
Exactly. So, which is the first time in a very long time that I've just been like, I'm more interested in the show than I am in the party.
And if you haven't noticed over this whole special of me bitching and complaining about the build, not my personal opinions, but other people's, and I know that that's cliche to complain about complainers.
Yeah.
This is Mania, guys.
Yes.
It's WrestleMania.
Yep.
And as we talked about it, there were good ones, there were bad ones, there were great ones, there were horrible ones. But it's Mania.
Yep.
And this is our Super Bowl, this is our World Series, this is our Final Four, this is our... Use whatever cliche sports analogy you want to use. This is the showcase of the Immortals, and it should be treated as such.
Yes. There is...
And whether tomorrow is horrible, tomorrow could be one of the worst WrestleManias ever.
Yes.
But it's still Mania.
It is still WrestleMania. You have to treat it with every respect that it deserves. And you've got to admit, even if you hate the build-up, you hate everything, part of you's excited. And it's not just for the match itself, just for the fact that it's WrestleMania. And you can't complain about that. You just can't. It's WrestleMania. I love it. Every damn year I love watching it. Even if it sucks, and you know, by the end of it, if I come out and just go, well, that fucking sucked, right up and when we're watching that fucking pay-per-view countdown that says 10 seconds, man, my heart is beating a mile a minute. I'm excited as fuck to see what WrestleMania is. Because I'm a
wake
true
up
wrestling...
tomorrow.
Yep. I'm going to be all excited tomorrow.
Sun shining.
Yep. It's going to be
play
all...
some WWE 13.
Yep. I'm going to be sitting around just being like, alright, when do I get to go for fucking Mania? When does Mania fucking happen? It's like a kid at Christmas, man. That's how I am. And I'm 30 years old. There's very few things on this planet that get me happy anymore. And Mania is one of them. That's why I do this show. You know?
So, there it is. 86 minutes, which I'm shocked that it wasn't like an hour and 2 hours.
2 hours and 30 minutes, yeah. But, no, I mean, we kept it as concise. Like I said, it's probably good that
we left out a lot, obviously.
Yeah, and I mean, it's good that we did that because, again, we're trying to leave ourselves a place to grow. It's our first.
Got a little room for play.
It's our first one, so, you know, we did good. I'd listen to this.
Yep.
We talked about fucking WrestleMania, bitch. Like, that's some good shit.
Put it this way.
Yes.
It's going to be a happening.
It is.
To quote Gorilla. It's going to be a happening.
It's going to be a happening.
So, we're wrapping up.
Yep.
For this special.
Yes.
You were Steve.
You were Justin.
And WrestleMania is going to be awesome.
It will.
See ya.
See you later.